Hello, everyone. We are here, unfortunately not where David is, which is the IWC Museum, which we thoroughly enjoy going to. I am in Manila and he is at home in Switzerland. His backdrop is the IWC Museum. David, can you please tell us what you do as director of the IWC Museum?
Yeah, I would say 80% of the whole daily work is really share information, share historical content with my colleagues inside IWC, but also with all people from all over the world. And I would say kind of an hub to, let's say, collect all information that are relevant for the history, for the heritage of IWC, and then make it digestible and then, provide it to all the people asking for. And this is, for example, it starts with certification of IWC watches that we have in the service where we check the numbers thanks to our archives, but also maybe personal question from people, supporting to all the people asking for. And this is, for example, it starts with certification of IWC watches that we have in the service where we check the numbers thanks to our archives, but also maybe personal question from people, supporting people when they do their personal research. But also when we have a campaign like we do now with the release of the new Portuguese watches, that we try to give as best the historical background, starting with the creative process, but then later on also when we do, for example, marketing campaigns to support. And so you can see this is a lot of things to do. And then, by the way, of course, you have done the museum's work. That means you should take care that the museum is running, operative things like that, and think about maybe special exhibition and things like that.
That sounds very cool. We've been there one time and we enjoyed it thoroughly. Here's a question though. The IWC Portuguese line doesn't change a lot in terms of when you compare it to things like the other models. So when they come to you for inspiration or commentary on something like the Portuguese line and they want to refresh it, is that harder because you don't have that much scope? I mean, you can change the engineer completely, you can change the pilot's watch in many different ways, but the Portuguese is very classic.
Yeah, I could now a little bit be mean and saying, this is, we just give the information and the grade has to do exactly what you say. But I think it's very important what you mentioned, because when you think on the Portuguese, the challenges to keep the design as close as it was with the original ones, and but then add something new. And this is maybe what is really, really challenging. Of course, the good thing is you can change a lot of things inside. It means like we did this year, that the whole collection, the new collection from 2020, is absolutely with in-house movements, and these are the things that you won't see at the moment when you look at it, but what it's inside, and that could be completely new. But what always was fascinating, when I have this historical perspective, you have the original Portugueses from the late 1930s, 40s, 50s, and then you have the relaunch in the 1990s. But like you said, there has been only slightly differences, but these tiny little differences make this watch maybe so interesting. And on the other hand, less changes, the more iconic design you really started with this Portuguese family.
Okay, so what would you say if someone says, what's the big deal with the new Portuguese? Or from your point of view, what do you think makes it different? And what do you think makes it the same as the traditional watches?
I'm starting maybe with what makes it the same. What I really, really like is, the new collection has got the 40 millimeters Portuguese with a small second, which is from the first look, if you look at pictures and you compare it with the original ones, it looks very similar. You know, like you said, I mean, the design team really had a look at the classical design, and then they make it happen. On the other side, what I really find really new, refreshing is the yacht club, the chronographs. With the stainless steel bracelet, because now you really have the Portuguese yacht club that you can wear. I always say you can jump into the water when you're on your yacht, but also you can go to a dinner party, and then you have really an all-rounder. And this is really cool. And from a technical perspective, what I really like is also the moon tide. You know,
Yes, yeah.
Or not me, but my colleagues from the technical department. I mean, many years to make it happen, and this is a kind of a technical milestone. So you can see there is a lot of new things. Even if you look at the design, you maybe say, "Wow, I'm very familiar with this typical Portuguese design," and how the approach was from the creative colleagues.
Okay. We haven't obviously seen the pieces or felt the pieces themselves. How do you feel they fit onto the wrist with the slight changes that they've done? Is there a big difference?
To be honest, I only just had a look to see prototypes, not yet the. So it's the same situation for me, like for you. But even though I have to talk about my favorite one, the yacht club again. But even though you have the stainless steel bracelet, I mean, it's very convenient. Even though it maybe seems a little bit like big and bold, but if you wear it, and then it's really okay, and you feel very convenient. So you have really statement on your wrist, but it's not like it doesn't harm in your daily life when you wear it.
Okay. Was it hard to? How did they communicate with you in terms of how to properly match a stainless steel bracelet to the iconic luxury Portuguese?
That's a very good question. I'm a very traditional guy, and so of course, I mean, I raised up even when I was a young chap, looking into the window, seeing all these beautiful Portugueses in the 90s when they came up. And so, it was like you said. I mean, it was always for me. It was a leather strap and the classical round case that was for me the Portuguese. But I think with the yacht club, it's okay, because if you look, for example, to the historical yacht club models, yacht club, I mean, and Portuguese, so we merged for the first time. I think it was 2010. Chronograph. And by the way, that was the first really huge project of our creative director, Mr. Christian Knoop. And then it works. Then if you have the design in mind from this 1967 yacht watches, and now the new one with the stainless steel bracelet, I think then we have this kind of tradition, and it's not like a no-go, what you would suggest if you maybe have the stainless steel bracelet. And what we have to take in consideration is also, I mean, there has been the request to offer stainless steel bracelet, because if you live in a country where you have hot days, or where it is very humid, I mean. Leather straps maybe are not the best choice for daily wear. So people really like then to go for a stainless steel strap or a rubber strap. And so if you really like to wear the watch daily and like 12, 14 hours, then maybe this is the best choice. And so this was also a thing that we really have to please the clients and meet their expectations.
Yeah. That's actually, I never would have thought of a Portuguese as anything other than a leather strap, but this actually will be really interesting to finally get our hands on.